Hello, Pokemon trainers. Welcome to the King's Court. Okay, yeah, it hasn't really been that long since the last upload. Really quick for anyone new. First, I'll get the intro out of the way. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for clicking on this video. And if you're a new viewer, also thank you so much for clicking on this video. We really appreciate it. Um, okay, I try to do what my again, if you're new here, I like to call this the Path to Power series. It's basically where I try to climb the online Pokemon Scarlet and Violet VGC ladder. And basically, these last few months, I've been using my favorite Pokemon, Giratina, and I've been having a lot. These have been some of my favorite videos to do, actually, these past few weeks. And it seems like a lot of people are enjoying them. So if you're watching this and if you're enjoying this one, thank you so much. And if you have any recommendations for any teams, let me know. Anyways, like I said, I try to do these Saturdays, but something there was an issue with. I found the problem. I fixed it. It was in Adobe, basically. Long story short, it screwed me over, and I lost a bunch of footage. Really good games too. Each one was like 20 minutes long. So as a result of that, I was only able to salvage one game. And I had to use up one of the ones that I already recorded. And if you want to see that one, I'll leave a link to it in the description. I'll put a picture of the thumbnail right here. Um, as a result of that, I have one less for this week. So I thought, you know what? I'll just upload these two. So sorry for this. Everything should be back to normal next week because, again, I fixed the problem in Adobe, so this shouldn't be happening again. So I usually try to do a best 3 out of 5, but this time it's going to be best. It's going to be two games. Yeah, again, so sorry. So if you want to see any more of these, and you want to see like I said, if you have any recommendations for any teams either, or any EV spreads, let me know in the comments. So this is the same team I used in the last one. I'm using obviously Giratina as the MVP. I'm also using the Ultimate Triforce of Pokemon right now. Rillaboom, Rapid Strike Urshifu, and Incineroar, they just work perfectly together. I'm also using Koraidon and Raging Bolt. So right here, I'm doing pretty well so far. I managed to knock out my opponent's Rapid Strike Urshifu, thanks to me being able to burn it and Hex being able just to finish it off because it was burned, so it did double damage. Right here, my Giratina is going to use Protect, and I thank goodness I switched out my Urshifu because I had a feeling they're going to do that, but I wasn't expecting the Volt Switch. I honestly was expecting the Electro Drift, and they're going to go into the Grimmsnarl. I've been seeing a lot of Grimmsnarl lately. I've mostly been seeing people run Grimmsnarl with Lunala because a lot of times you see people, um, what was it? Oh yeah, they use Fairy terrestrialization on Lunala. They set up like the Combine and they have Grimmsnarl set up like the barriers and all that. So it's a really powerful combination too. It's really difficult to play against too, because right now when it comes to Steel and Poison, there's not like a bunch of really good Steel and Poison types right now. So my Rillaboom's gonna use Fake Out, and there it goes. Set up the barrier. Luckily, that took care of the Incineroar, and I'm just gonna have my Giratina burn the Grimmsnarl. Now, this is what I like to do. I like to use Incineroar or Rillaboom, and like 9 out of 10 times that usually works. Or my opponent like already knows because we all know how Incineroar and Rillaboom work. They like switch it out, which is fine because it lets my Giratina focus on the Pokemon I want it to burn, and it really is pretty effective too. I'm gonna withdraw my Giratina here because I don't want to take the chance of losing it yet. So I'm just gonna switch back out to my Incineroar because I want to lower the attack of my opponent's Incineroar and their Grimmsnarl. Now, Grimmsnarl really isn't meant to be like super offensive, but it is a physical attacker. So I was like, you know what, I might as well just bring that down any lower. And so they put out their Miraidon, probably to get rid of my Grass Train. And I luckily I was gonna high horsepower the Incineroar anyways, so I got a free high horsepower on the Miraidon. And this is what I mean right here. So it hit my Incineroar. It did hit super effective, but luckily the burn plus the intimidate is making its attacks like nothing really. So I was gonna use the fake out on the Miraidon, and they're gonna hit me with the T wave, which man, I'm not gonna lie, can be kind of annoying. But gotta do what you gotta do. So the Miraidon is gonna get hit again by the high horsepower. It's close to being knocked out, and the burn will hurt the Grimmsnarl. So I'm in a interesting position. I'm thinking I could just maybe like try to like knock off the Rhydon and just switch out my Rillaboom. And I ended up doing that because I want to get rid of that electric terrain, honestly. So I'm going to send back out my Giratina. And because I was thinking either they're going to try to hit it again or they're going to go for like an electric move on my Giratina. But, man, I don't know why my mind was blank on the, what's it called? The Dazzling Gleam. But luckily, both my Pokemon survived. And even better, that was a crit on my Giratina, which means Giratina, again, is just soaking up these hits. It's like one. Giratina doesn't hit like super hard because I'm not using the Grisserus Orb because I like using this version because it's basically using leftovers and combined with that and the grassy terrain and pain split pretty much means my Giratina is almost impossible to knock out. So I'm thinking I could just go for a protect. That way I could try to let the leftovers try to bring back up HP. And they're going to go for the Flare Blitz on my Giratina. And again, they're going to go for the Spirit Break. But my Incineroar is already super close to being knocked out, so that's to be expected. And their Grimmsnarl is going to be hurt by the burn, so I'm thinking I could just go on to my Rillaboom to get rid of the electric terrain, and I pretty much just do that. Plus, since I also can still use the Fake Out on one of their Pokemon, so that's basically what I was thinking. I'm just going to Fake Out on the Incineroar and have Giratina focus on the Incineroar. So it's going to Fake Out right here, and the Grimmsnarl will go for Spirit Break, but that does almost nothing. Will bring down the special attack, which kind of sucks. And unfortunately, the paralysis is going to kick in. I was going to have my Giratina pain split the Incineroar. That would have brought the Incineroar way down enough, probably for Rillaboom to knock it out with the high horsepower, if it managed to hit. Because I'm pretty sure the Incineroar is faster than my Rillaboom, and it does bring down Giratina's special attack, which does stink. Cause okay, yeah, and did knock out, but luckily this will do crazy recoil damage. Yeah, and they're gonna go for Spirit Break again, and again my Giratina is just soaking it up. And I'm gonna go, and luckily now I can go for the Pain Split, and we'll both gain HP back thanks to the terrain. And the Grimmsnarl is gonna keep getting hurt by the burn. Nice. So I still have my Urshifu. I gotta be careful though because I don't want the Grimmsnarl to use T Wave on my Urshifu, and I just want to knock out this Incineroar because I just want to take care of it now. I I made a small mistake. I should have. I went for the Aqua Jet because I was honestly really nervous at this point because I wasn't sure or not if my Urshifu would be able to outspeed the Incineroar, and I didn't want to take that chance. So I just have my Giratina Protect, and I just go for the Aqua Jet. It didn't. It almost knocked out, but it didn't. And unfortunately, I got hit by the T Wave. I'm pretty sure though, my Urshifu would have outsped it, so I should have just honestly went for the Surging Strike. Yeah, that was my bad right there. But we'll all gain HP back. But the Grimmsnarl will keep losing it. And the Reflect wore off. Yeah, that's why the it didn't knock out. I was thinking that combined with Stab and all that, and my Urshifu having a pretty good, being adamant and all that, plus the Mystic Water, it would have knocked out. It did, but I forgot to basically account for the barrier. That was my bad. But I managed to take care of it now, and Spear Break isn't really going to do much. And I'm just going to go for another Pain Split. And more HP, and the Grimmsnarl should lose some right here. Alright, cool. And luckily, my Giratina's leftovers will bring its HP back to the green, so that's good for me. I'm just going to go for the Hex and go for a close combat. Okay, and I got it. Yeah, the there's no way my opponent would have been able to knock out either of my Pokemon, so that's the first one. Now on to the second one slash technical third one. Again, I'll leave a link in the description to the last one. All right, so my opponent's going to start off with their Calyrex, the ice one, and the Paradox Hydreigon. I forgot what its name. A lot of these Paradox Pokemon have really weird names, and I kind of forget, and I keep forgetting them. But basically, future Hydreigon. So I'm just gonna say Hydreigon. What am I saying? Hydreigon. God, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong anyways. So I'm just going to use Fake Out. I'm going to burn the Calyrex. I want to get rid of that thing. Calyrex is one of the most used Pokemon right now, and I do not want to deal with it, so I just want to knock that thing out quickly. I want to knock it out also before I can set up a Terastallization. That's why I burn it right here. Because if I could just have Giratina hit it, thanks to Hex being Stab and Calyrex being Psychic, the Hex should knock it out since it's burned, so it'll do double damage. And combined with it being Stab and Weakness, I'm thinking it should knock it out before it hits anything. So I'm just going to go for that, honestly. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to use Protect first. Okay, my opponent's Pokemon used Snarl. That is going to hit my Incineroar, but it's going to bring its special attack down. And okay. So it hits the Glacier and it does almost nothing. Thank goodness for this thing being like a physical attacker. And I managed to knock off the Assault Vest. Okay, good thing I did that first because I wasn't really thinking it had the Assault Vest. And I'm going to Terastallize right here. The reason I'm Terastallizing right here is because I was basically messing with my opponent's head because I was basically making them think if I don't Terastallize yet, I can make them think I'm not running like some kind of one on. I can make them think I'm running a different Pokemon with Terastallization, but I do it here to remove the Dragon weakness. It will make him a little more susceptible to the Snarl, but it'll be worth it as long as I can get rid of the Calyrex before it can really start doing some serious damage. Okay, so that took care of it. Sweet. And my Incineroar is going to go for the Flare Blitz. It doesn't knock out, but it does do half, and it also burns. Alright, cool. Will get hurt, though, by the recoil, but that's to be expected. Let's see. So, already my opponent's down one Pokemon, so this is really good for me. And they're going to send out their Kyogre. Dang. I saw in their team preview that they were running Kyogre. I didn't want to deal with that thing. Oh, man. But I knew I was going to have to deal with it. So I'm thinking this is why I brought my Raging Bolt instead of my Urshifu. Because basically I wanted to have enough like Rillaboom and my Raging Bolt to deal with the Kyogre. So I'm just going to send out my Incineroar. Although, looking back, maybe it might have been better here to use Koraidon instead. Because if I had used Koraidon, I could have gotten rid of the rain. So that might have been a better option, if I'm being honest. I'm going to remember that, though, next time. So I will, though, get to burn the Kyogre. Luckily, unfortunately, because I did Terastallize, Dragon won't be able to resist a Water Spout. But luckily, Giratina is so bulky, it still survived, and it held. Its HP is still in the green, so that's good for me. I'm just going to go and knock out the Hydreigon quickly and just let my Rillaboom focus on the Kyogre. Now they're going to Terastallize. They Terastallize into Grass. I wasn't expecting that. I didn't think about it. A lot of times I've played against other Kyogres. I guess I never really thought about it. I never really thought, like, what to Terastallize Kyogre into. I've seen a couple of others, like, I've seen some others, like, Terastallize into, like, Electric before. I can see why they would use Grass. It's pretty cool. The Hex, though, won't knock out the Hydreigon. Dang. That makes sense, because, Dark resists Ghost, so... Luckily, though, it did do enough damage to the point where I can just let the burn take care of that Pokemon, and now I can just have my next one and my Giratina focus on the Kyogre, basically. And because it's, grass, it's now susceptible to being hit by the Flare Blitz. So I'm just going to sit down my not Kyogre, my Incineroar to basically deal with that thing. But I'm also thinking to myself, I don't want to deal with like more Water Spout, especially since I already Terastallized. So I'm just gonna fake out the Kyogre. So that worked, and I'm going to Pain Split, gain some HP back. Didn't really do much, but hey, it's something. Okay, now that I think about it, it probably would have been better right here to just hit with a Hex. Yeah, that probably would have been a much better idea. But luckily they're both hurt by their burns, so that's really good for me. One more should take care of the Hydreigon, so again I can just focus on knocking out the Kyogre. I'm gonna switch out my Incineroar because I knew they were gonna go for like a water move. So I just send out Raging Bolt. This is one of the reasons why I picked Raging Bolt for this team to deal with this sort of thing. So they're gonna go for the Tailwind. All right, that's fine. And they're gonna go for the Water Spout. Luckily, my Raging Bolt does resist it, but that still did a pretty good chunk. So I'm just gonna go for the Hex again. Yeah, definitely next time I should. Yeah, like I said, I should have used Hex instead of Pain Split last time. So luckily, all of the Pokemon will gain HP back, but their Hydreigon will be fall prey to its burn. So that's good for me. So it's two Pokemon so far. So they're gonna send out their Rillaboom. Okay, so they have Rillaboom and Kyogre left. Both weak to fire, so I gotta be careful not to lose my Incineroar yet. So Raging Bolt's gonna use to protect because I want my Giratina to be the one to hit the next Pokemon. So luckily they were gonna fake out my Raging Bolt, that's fine. And they're gonna go for Origin Pulse, and they were also going for my Raging Bolt. Well, Origin Pulse hit both them, and unfortunately though, that does knock out Giratina this time. But this is good because I can get a free switch in on my into my Incineroar, and this is also really good because I was trying to wait out the rain. Like I said, it probably would have been better to use Koraidon instead of Rillaboom for this game. So the Intimidate will go off and lower the attack of Rillaboom. It doesn't really matter on the Kyogre, but luckily Fake Out's alive again. And I'm thinking, I could just go for a Draco Meteor and knock out the Kyogre now. And that way Incineroar can just take care of the Rillaboom with Flare Blitz. But the Protect, unfortunately. And okay, they're both going to use Protect, double Protect. Okay. So basically, nothing happened this turn, which is okay. So yeah, Draco Meteor is not going to hit, but it again still will be hurt by the burn. And because they have no Pokemon left, that means no more rain. So I don't have to worry about Flare Blitz hitting for less damage. I'm just going to go for the Thunderclap on the Kyogre because its HP is so low right now. I just want to basically do as much damage as possible. So yeah, Thunderclap will hit, almost knocks out. And they're going to go for an Origin Pulse on my Raging Bolt. And a Wood Hammer as well. And which means my Incineroar right here could just get a free Flare Blitz. Alright. And yeah, I pretty much got this already. I could just use, and luckily the Citrus Berry kicks in too. So I could legit just hit with another Thunderclap and it should just take care of it. And if not, my Incineroar or the Burn will finish it off. So yeah, I pretty much got this game right here. Let's see. Yep, Thunderclap. All right, this is a good game. Like, no cap, both these games were like 20 minutes each. That's why I doubled the speed because, man, and also it was nerve wracking too. So because these were like really good games. So yeah, that was that one. It was a really good one. Like I said, although I think for future reference, I should probably use not Kyogre, Koraidon the next time I see like Kyogre to get rid of that rain because if I was able to use that, first off, Koraidon would have been a lot more useful against like their Rillaboom. So that probably would be a better option next time. But thank you so much for making it this far in the video. If you got this far, and let me know what you think. And if you got any suggestions for any teams or like EB spreads, let me know in the comments. I'd love to read them. And overall, just have a great weekend. Take care. Bye.